Henna Karanja, the kindness advantage. Over to you.
The rat race. That is what they call it. This is when you keep looking right and left, and all you see are people. And you focus on those who are faster than you, smarter than you, stronger than you. So soon you start to do what you think you need to do, which is to push. And soon you start to feel like a hamster in a hamster wheel. You're running, you're sweating, you're grinding, and getting nowhere. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of world we're living in today. A world that tells you that everything has to be you against others. That for you to rise, someone needs to fall. But what if it doesn't have to be that way? What if instead of you against others, it could be you with others? Because when you work together, you go further and success is so much sweeter. But let's be honest, human beings love to compete. Yes, we have the World Cup, we have the Olympics, and we even have a competition for the world's ugliest dog. Yes, it's like we're constantly looking for excuses to compete. And this is ingrained in us from childhood. I remember when I was 8 years old, going to primary school, and we would look around and judge the coolest kids based on their lunchbox. Yes, I mean, how petty. And sadly, my lunchbox never made the cut, and it's down. And this competitive spirit stays with us until we get to adulthood. Today, some workplaces are toxic from people trying to outdo each other. In our personal lives, we are looking for validation through likes and followers on social media. And in business, some businesses will even lie to customers just to lure them away from their competitors. But again, what if it doesn't have to be this way? What if instead of competing against each other, we looked at how many people we uplifted along the way? To illustrate this, let me take you back to that cold November day in 2009. The event was the New York City Marathon. And in that race were Doratu Tulu and Paula Radcliffe, the world record holder. Now, the race began and all was going well. But with 4 miles to go, something happened. Paula began to struggle. Now, think about the situation for one moment. This was a chance for the elite runners to surge forward and take the win from Paula. And that's what happened. Except Doratu Tulu did something different. Instead, she began to slow down, and the cameras caught her talking to Paula and telling her, "Don't stop, keep going, we're almost there." And after a while, Paula could be seen talking to Doratu Tulu and telling her, "You keep going, I'm going to be fine." Now, if you're wondering how that race eventually played out, I'm here to tell you that Doratu Tulu went on to win the women's marathon on that cold November morning. And as soon as she finished, she didn't just rush over to the reporter's desk. She waited for Paula and walked with her to the medical desk. Because at this moment, Doratu Tulu knew that she had not broken any records because she had slowed down for Paula. But her focus was not on the time on the clock. It was focused on being human, on compassion, and on kindness. Because she realized that by working together, our success was so much sweeter. So the question is, where do we go from here? What do we do? Well, I have a challenge for you. We can start by asking ourselves some soul-searching questions. Questions like, What would my life look like if I focused on mentoring others and not competing with them? What would my life look like if I focused on human connections instead of likes and followers on social media? And what would my life look like if I focused on business integrity instead of numbers on a spreadsheet? Because as Tony Robbins tells us, where focus goes, energy flows. And as I close, I would like to leave you with this very simple challenge. It's a simple challenge that you can start right away. And it's a challenge that has 3 simple steps that spell POM. And this is what they are. Step number 1 is the P. P for progress. This is where you measure your progress. And you measure your progress by looking at where you are today compared to last week, not compared to anyone else. And step number 2 is the O. O for ownership. Take ownership and ask yourself, let me celebrate regardless of who's ahead of me or behind me. And step number 3 is the M. Oh, this is the most exciting one. M for mentorship. Ask, whom can I mentor? Whose life can I change? Whom can I open doors for? Because with growth comes responsibility. And that is why today I wish that I could go back. That I could go back to that 8-year-old girl in primary school who always felt like she was not good enough just because her lunchbox did not measure up. And I could tell her there are more important things in life, things like compassion, kindness, and humanity. And I'll tell her to focus not on her against the world, but on her walking with others. Because when we work together, we go further, and success is all so much sweeter. Back to you, Brian.